Good day, guys. So today we are in one of South Africa's most popular budget cars, which is the Kia Picanto, and this is the 1 liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated engine. It kicks out about 49 kilowatts of power and 96 newton meters, which is not a lot, but when looking at the size of the vehicle, look around town, it performs fairly well. So these cars, for instance, people buy them thinking that they would be more fuel efficient than other bigger cars with much bigger engines. So a few days ago we actually drove this car down to East London. There were 3 adults with a fairly small luggage, about 3 backpacks, and the boot was full already. And when I calculated the fuel efficiency, it came to 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is quite a lot for this car. I would imagine you should be getting about 5 or 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers for the size of the car and the engine as well. But in any case, it's naturally aspirated, which is an advantage over a turbocharged one. It might last you a bit longer. It's also equipped with a 5-speed gearbox, which is quite solid. But one thing I don't like, it's the brakes. They are quite sensitive. So in terms of safety, this car is actually fitted with 2 airbags for the passenger and the driver. So when driving this car around town, you feel that it's got enough power and torque, but immediately you take it out on a long stretch, look, it revs quite high, and hence it uses so much fuel because it's got a smaller engine, obviously, and immediately you load it up with a lot of people, you can feel that it's underpowered. But there are also other engine options. There's the 1 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged and the 1.25 4-cylinder, and I think it's actually naturally aspirated. But I think around town this is enough. So for this base spec Kia Picanto, you're looking at spending 167,000 for a brand new one. So some advantages of buying this particular car: firstly, parking is going to be way too easy. Maintenance is going to be cheap. For instance, it's riding on 13-inch wheels, and if you had to change those tires, I think one is about 600 rand or something like that. So that's fairly cheap. So here's the interior of this car. You've got a small dashboard over there with scratch material. That's your radio. With a high spec one, you'd find a touchscreen, I think about 7 or 8-inch touchscreen, and you also have air conditioner over there, as well as 2 tiny cup holders, and you actually get auxiliary and USB input as part of your radio system, or as well as Bluetooth. Okay, and this one currently has a mileage of 28,000 kilometers. So let's see how it actually does when you put your foot down. Okay, it's quite nippy around town. So my thoughts on this car is that it's a practical, small budget vehicle, and it does what it's supposed to do. There's enough power to go around town, and it's also on the cheap side, hence it's a budget car. 167,000, what else can you get brand new? But I would rather consider buying maybe a demo Toyota Etios or a second-hand VW Polo. So the Toyota Etios as well as the Polo Vivo, those I feel that are more practical than this. They've got more power and torque than the Kia Picanto, and you can also take those on a longer stretch with 4 adults in it and still feel that you still have enough power to even overtake. Unlike this particular car, I think it's a bit underpowered when you take it on the open road, and boot space is just, it's just too small. So the suspension of this car actually feels a bit bouncy, and I think it boils down to the size of the vehicle, so it cannot absorb bumps on the road properly as a bigger vehicle would. And also the tires that it uses are very small, so hence you end up feeling every bump on the road. So other advantages that I actually like about this car is that it's got a 30,000 kilometer service plan and also a 5-year unlimited warranty. And in fact, that would actually work perfectly for me because I drive a lot. I think in a year I do about 50,000 kilometers. So my warranties quickly run out. They last about 2 years, 2.5 years. So they quickly run out immediately when I get to 120 kilometers. Unlike if I had to get something like this, which would accommodate me in terms of giving me the unlimited warranty over 5 years. I actually enjoyed driving this car, and I think that's mainly because it does what it's supposed to do, take you from A to B, and it's practical in that manner by also using less fuel around town, that is. And in fact, the person that borrowed me this car has it as a courtesy car after he had an accident with his German machine, because he's a Audi fanatic, but he also enjoys driving this car around town. Whilst I was looking at the features of this car, I was actually quite surprised that you get so many features with such a base spec type of car. You have electric windows, you've got air conditioning, and I remember when I got my Toyota Hilux back in 2015, that was a base spec one. It was a 2-liter petrol, long wheel base, I think. Yeah, it was a long wheel base. And I didn't get electric windows. I also didn't get air conditioning. So guys, here's the exterior of this Kia Picanto, and here's the side profile as well. So here's the review of this Kia Picanto, and let's just look at the boot. And it's quite small. In fact, it's 255 liters, and I was actually quite surprised to find that it even has a spare wheel right at the bottom, 13-inch spare wheel. So here's the sitting at the rear, and this is my driving position, the front, and my knees are actually touching the front seat. And so it's quite small, but I really think they try to maximize the space in the interior. Another thing is that we don't find electric windows, we only find these manual ones which wind up and down, and there's also no armrest at the back. And then lastly, we also don't find any cup holders on the sides of the door. So guys, lastly, thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel.